Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. We're out here at SCW Trails. Check out the new disc golf course just put in out here. The comparisons I've heard for this course are Pipeline and Woodruff. And looking at the course map, it looks like this is going to be more comparable to Woodruff or maybe like a shorter version of Pipeline. But either way, it looks like it's going to be a pretty tight wooded course that's not very long. I think some of the longer holes are like 300-foot par threes or 500-foot par fours, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, for hole one, we've got a par three, 330 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the right. This is a really intense starting hole. And I don't know if I said in the intro or not, but I am playing the course blind, so this will be fun. But I'm going to take to a first tee, obviously. But both shots are going to be with some flippy fairway drivers. Nope. Better, but still not. Oh, boy. I think that was actually a good kick. Yeah, because there is OB over there. Okay, so luckily I did kick back out in the open. Have patent pending to get up and down. Not too hard of a shot. Just got to make sure I get this disc to bend to the right and the majority of the flight. Should be good. All right, guys, for hole two, got a par three, 250 feet. It looks like you got a split fairway where you can go for like a forehand to the left side or backhand on the right side. It looks like the backhand's a little bit straighter, and it looks like the basket's up on top of this hill, so you'd have to go pretty high for the forehand route. That just doesn't feel like a good shot for me, so I'm gonna go with like a straighter mid range down the right side, something that'll push straight for a while and then fade out near the end. Dang, that thing turned a lot more on me than I thought it would. So I needed to throw a little bit more stable mid range, but that should be a pretty easy up and down for par. So yeah, the basket's right on the edge of the hill, so I don't want to try jump putting or throwing a backhand approach shot to this green. And do a little forehand. Not really turnover, just like throw this on Anheuser, let it just get to flat and drop right at the basket. Yep, just like that. All right, guys, for hole three, got a par 380 feet. You see the basket going pretty far uphill, but I think I'm just gonna go with a straight to slightly overstable throwing putter. Throw it a little out to the right of the basket. It looks like there'd be more room off to the left, but there are some vines hanging down that do block up that gap. So looks like backhand's the better shape for this hole. I'll just go to the left side anyway. Okay, so even with how bad I early released that, I'm actually up here in like circle two. Unfortunately, I don't have a putt, but I'm trying to throw this in. Oh, dang. All right, guys, we're on hole four. This one's a par three, 208 feet. Basket's down here tucked off to the right. Looks like just a stock flat shot with the overstable approach disc, and just hope it gets through some trees down there late. But yeah, you need to throw forehand flat, do this gap on the left. You can get the disc to push down there. Nope. Okay, that fell straight down. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole five. This one's par three, 214 feet. Got to hit this gap off the tee with something overstable. Let it filter off to the left. Well, I might actually go with something more neutral or even something kind of understable, because you do have to go pretty far to the left. And when you're throwing something that high, especially considering we're also going uphill, the overstable disc doesn't really have time to get back to the left. So I'm gonna, yeah, I'll probably go with like a neutral putter and see if that works. Oh, are you serious? I didn't know that vine was there. Oh, I pulled it. You're lucky. It did. All right, guys, for hole 6, we got a par 3, 192 feet. The basket's down here tucked off to the left, but pretty much just have to hit this gap off the tee. I figured this, well, that's not even a creek. I thought that was a creek between us and the basket, but it looks like just a bunch of rocks. So nothing in the way, really. Just got to hit this gap. This is another hole where it's a left to right moving shot, but I don't know if I really want to throw something overstable. Kind of want to throw something neutral on a little bit of hyzer. You get to pop up the flat or just something that'll push straight before it fades. Just like that. Oh, need something a little bit flippier, actually. Dang. Ooh, a little high. All right, guys, for hole 7, we got a par 3, 240 feet. Basket's down here tucked off to the right. The shape really calls for like a backhand with the understable mid range or a putter, but with this tree on the right being here, you pretty much can only throw a forehand if you want to get the birdie. I guess you could still try the backhand, but it's so much tighter with that tree on the right. So we'll try a forehand with the overstable distance driver and see if that works. That should be really good. Yeah, that should be putting. Ooh, the left pocket. All right, guys, for hole 8, we got a par 3, 245 feet. Basket's down here, took just like 5 feet to the right of the very end of this hallway. So I'm going to throw straight to understable, throwing putter, flat, maybe on a little bit of hyzer, try and get to just pop up and push straight all the way down the hallway and hopefully give myself easy putt. I really released it a little bit. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so I forgot to roll my putt. I think I was right here. All right, guys, for hole 9, we've got a par 3, 320 feet. You see the basket just straight ahead going up this hill. Oh, that's cool. They got the elevation change on the T signs. So it goes up 28 feet. So I'll need to probably, yeah, I'll need to disc up to a distance driver. I just got to go with something as neutral as I can because there's not a lot of room to move from left to right or right to left. So I might even go with like a hyzer flip to flat that with something that'll push straight and have a little bit of fade at the end. Too much hyzer. Okay, that was a good kick. So I think there's OB Creek on the left. Oh, early. Keep turning. I think that's out of bounds. Okay, so I was out of bounds. So this will be for my 4. Oh, sit. I threw that a little long. I mean, I was trying to run it, so it makes sense, but that was a bad run. All right, guys, for hole 10, we got a par 3, 214 feet. Basket's down here tucked off to the right, as you can see. So best line is going to be a forehand, like hyzer, kind of spikes into the green. You need to go with something fast because of how far it goes to the right. So I'm going to go with the overstable fairway driver. Just try and give it height, hyzer, try and get the nose down. Just let it dump into the green. Ooh. Yeah, should be putting. Ooh, get in there. All right, guys, for hole 11, got a par 3, 208 feet. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the basket's just dead straight ahead through this gap. So since we're going a little uphill, I'm going to go with a flippier putter, try and hyzer flip it, get it pushed straight. There are some trees down there that will kind of require a little bit of luck to miss, but as long as I get through this main gap, I'll have some kind of look at birdie. Yeah. That might have gone a little long and a little left, but that should be inside the circle. Okay, so I was right about it being left, but very wrong about being long. All right, guys, for hole 12, we got a par 3, 176 feet. This one plays as an island green, so if you go out of bounds at all, you go to the drop zone. But this looks like a pretty stock forehand, something I've been throwing a lot today, just for some approaches, stuff like that. So we'll go with the forehand, see if we can ring it up. Need it farther up to the left. Okay, that was a good kick. Pay no attention to the other discs. I definitely didn't almost empty my bag trying to ace this hole. Bait. Ooh, nice. All right, guys, for hole 13, got a par 3 at 150 feet. This one is pretty interesting because you have 3 separate tee pads that are all right here next to each other. The one on the left gives you a forehand hyzer in the green. The one on the right gives you a backhand hyzer in the green. I'm going with the middle one because it's the easiest one to see from the tee pad, and plus, I like throwing straight shots. So, see if we can ring it up. Oh man, if that flipped a little more. No. Basket's a little elevated, so I tried to aim a little off to the right and just yanked the crap out of it. All right, guys, we're on hole 14. This one's a par 3, 204 feet. Still don't really see the basket. T-sign says it's down here to the right. I don't see. This is on top of the. Oh yeah, it's right here on top of this hill. So probably just end up throwing a low forehand, trying to get the spike into the side of that hill right there. Oh, too low. Ooh, that was a really bad kick. I needed to turn that a little bit more, but it should be inside the circle putt. All right, guys, for hole 15, we got a par 4, 372 feet. Looks like the basket's out this way, tucked off to the right. So off the tee, just need to throw a straight shot, get as much distance as we can. And from there, I guess throw a forehand into the green, something like that. I'm gonna go with the pretty neutral fairway driver, just try and get push straight. Maybe finish a little off to the left. That'll be fine. Off that tree. Oh man, so close. Hopefully I'll be able to get them down from there though. Nope, hold it. It's gonna be long. That might be like a circle 2 putt. I don't know. Okay. Wow. I missed my line completely with that putt, but somehow that went in. All right, guys, for hole 16, we got a par 3, 390 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the right. Looks like the only line to really get there is a forehand. And with how low the ceiling is, I'm not going to be able to get my forehand there. So we're going to try something dumb and go with a roller. See if this works. Get lucky. It did, but that's not going to cut. But I don't think it had enough energy to penetrate too far in the woods on the left, so shouldn't have too hard of a time getting up and down. There we go. All right, guys, for hole 17, got a par 3, 212 feet. This is the signature hole out here. This is the one I've seen everybody post on Instagram or wherever whenever they came out here to play, and it makes sense. This is probably the most open hole in the whole course, and just one of those really pretty shots that you got to take at least a few stabs at. I'm gonna go with the overstable thrown putter out to the right, let it fade in, but obviously we're gonna have to throw a few shots on this one. A little too far to the right. Ugh, yeah, that tree kicked it down, but should have a putt. Oh, come on, fade. Come on. Oh. Ooh, lift. Lift. Oh, man. Okay, so I didn't realize that the right side was marked as out of bounds. So my first shot is out of bounds, but I'm just going to play my second shot, which is somewhere in these trees on the right side of the basket, and just play that as like a re-tee. So I'll be putting for my 4 from there. Also, I did lose a white, well, it says Genesis on it, but now they're considered the Covenant. So a white Covenant that says Genesis on it, it's really beat up. If you find it over there, I'd really appreciate it if you got it back to me. Oh, crap. I was not expecting to make that. All right, guys, for hole 18, we got a par 4, 450 feet. Looks like the main thing to pay attention to is there's a Mando to the left, about halfway down the fairway. I'm gonna go with the fairway driver off the tee to just really bite off some distance, throw something on some hyzer, get to pop up, turn, and hopefully come back near the end. But yeah, let's get a little aggressive and see if we can get out of here with an easy birdie. Flip, flip. What? Granted, that's my new glow Enoch, but those things are supposed to be flippy. I don't know why it didn't flip. Okay. Sit in the middle. All right, we can work with that. Wow. Talk about poking hope. In there. All right, guys, that finished up our round out here at SCW. I'm really happy with how this course turned out. Uh, I can see what people were talking about when they said pipeline, woodruff, because there definitely is a good amount of elevation change in the woods. But for me, this reminded me a lot of the trails. I mean, it's a wooded course with a good amount of variety, good amount of shot shapes, but one that's not too difficult. Granted, there is a good amount of scoring separation. I mean, it's easy to have that in the woods for sure, but like even on some of the more open holes, I mean, there's a good amount of OB, there's a good amount of hazard, got Mandos. I don't know if I would ever come out here and play a tournament, but this definitely wouldn't be a bad course for a tournament at all. The only real critiques I would say I have for the course would be on was it hole 1 in 18. My main complaint with hole 1 is that there's not really a good warm up area out here. I mean, I guess there is the soccer fields you can throw in over there, but like typically hole 1 you want to be kind of open so that way people can have a chance to warm up before the round. And hole 1 is like the tightest hole on the entire course almost. So I think if you take 1 or 2 trees out of that like initial really tight gap, I think that would help a lot. And then hole 18, I just didn't really like the approach shot to the green, or at least the second shot. It just didn't really feel like there was an intended line. Granted, on my third shot, I don't really think I was as far down the fairway as you're intended to be and actually in the landing zone, so not really that big of a deal. And honestly, that's probably the smallest critique I have for the whole course. I did forget to mention though, there's one more thing. Some of the tee pads are a little too short in my opinion, and a lot of them have stuff directly behind the tee pad. So like there was a few of them that had like some rocks built up or just cut down logs directly behind the tee pad, and it made it to where you only had about 4 to 5 feet of room to run up, which most of the time that's not really a big deal because the majority of the holes you're not really throwing that hard. it was definitely something I noticed a few times throughout the round. But other than that, this is a great course. And like the fact that this is like only 30 minutes from me, I'm probably gonna play this course a lot. I'm not sure if I'm gonna come back out here and film any more videos though. This isn't really a great course for that, unless I was trying to do like the thing I'm doing at Century, trying to shoot 10 under par or something. I might do. We'll see. But yeah, definitely highly recommend y'all come and check out this course if you're in the area. It's a ton of fun. Um, yeah, if y'all want to see me make some more videos, stuff like that out here, please let me know. If y'all have any other courses you want me to hit up, please let me know in the comments as well. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.